Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to this video on the Cancer full moon happening on December the 26th. So this is the final full moon of the year. It's also the second full moon that we have in the sign of Cancer this year. So we began the year with a full moon in January that was in the sign of Cancer as well. So this is so fitting to happen right around the holidays because the Cancerian energy connects us to our family. It's very nostalgic, and this can also be close friends that we consider family as well. So it's just so fitting for this time of year as we gather together. It's also a very powerful time to reflect and celebrate. So, looking at your journey from that first full moon that we had in Cancer, beginning in January, all the way through to now ending the year, celebrate those achievements, those accomplishments. Full moons are so great for celebration. And this is not just the external achievements, the external accomplishments. Yes, celebrate those. And we'll see with the Capricorn energy, we are so encouraged to celebrate those things. Cancer is about our inner world and emotions. So celebrate the healing journey that you've been on, that maybe nobody else has seen, the beliefs that you have rearranged, how you have grown in your emotional intelligence and your ability to relate and connect with people in a new way as you heal that inner child. So a lot of celebration energy here. This full moon is also very well aspected. So I'm going to pull up my chart so you can see the connections that are happening here that are just so supportive as we wrap up 2023 and we carry that momentum with us into the new year. So I also want to share with you as well, I recently did a workshop on journeying into the Akashic realm, and I shared activations, clearings, and energy practices to help you manifest your best year yet in 2024. So that's available for a little while longer, and I'll put the link in the comments if you want to explore that and connect to your unique blueprint for success in 2024, and just have the support of integrating the lessons of this past year and bringing closure to past seasons and past cycles in your life, stepping into a new chapter. So I'm going to share my screen now so we can dive in, and you can also have the visual representation of the energies that are at play here during this full moon. So we have the moon over here, 4 degrees of Cancer, opposing the sun over here at 4 degrees of Capricorn. So we are in Capricorn season. We have this opposition between the moon and the sun, which is what makes it a full moon. And Cancerian energy is really connected to how we nurture ourselves, how we nourish ourselves, connecting to our emotions, our intuition. So there's a lot of emotions that can surface during this time, but as you'll see with some of these other aspects, I think it really is a feel-good energy of celebration, although we may be doing some past reflecting as well, which can definitely happen with the moon in Cancer. The moon is also at home in the sign of Cancer, making it very strong as well. So intuition at an all-time high when we have the moon in the sign of Cancer. So opposite this is the Capricorn energy here. And Capricorn energy, we recently welcomed in the solstice as well. And it was a really interesting shift because as the sun moved into the sign of Capricorn, we actually had the moon at that time move into the sign of Taurus. So we had this strong earthy energy. And Taurus and Capricorn are one of the most grounded, practical energies in the zodiac. So it really brought us back to the wisdom of our body and how we want to finish out this year, where we really need to focus in order to get into that state of flow that we can carry with us into 2024. It really brought us back to our truth in a powerful way and can help with that sense of structure and organization. So the Capricorn archetype is about cultivating a sense of discipline in your life. And when we are disciplined in the tasks that support our vision and our well-being, we ultimately step into greater realms of freedom in our life. So we also can see the Capricorn energy often in astrology. It's connected with the masculine energy, that stability, that structure, that willingness to take action and put in the work to get what we desire. And the Cancerian energy very connected to the feminine. So it's the creativity, it's the flow, it's the trusting our intuition, it's connecting to our emotions. Now, if we were to see the Capricorn energy through the lens of the goddess, Capricorn would be the wise goddess who has learned from experience, who has put in the work to get the results. And there is something about taking our knowledge, applying it in our life, that is really what transforms it into wisdom. And Capricorn is also represented by the mountain goat. So it's like climbing the way to the top. There's an element of persistence there, of patience, of dedication, of not needing to see the results or the turnaround right away, because there's a certainty that what we desire is going to happen. And I often talk to my clients and students about this. Our desires are a glimpse into what is written in our Akashic Records. It is our destiny. No one can take that from us. So it's not a question of if this is going to happen. It's simply about when. And we have more control over the when than we know. We are part of that co-creation. We are part of bringing it to life. And in Capricorn season, it really gets us to take a look at, do we have the discipline required to get to where we desire to go? Are we taking those action steps? Are we wanting things to manifest in our life maybe before we're ready to receive them? If we get the things we want before we have the skill set to maintain it, the wisdom to hold it, it can actually be detrimental. So this energy is really good for looking at, am I building the skills, the emotional intelligence, the persistence, the perseverance, the wisdom to hold what it is I desire in my life? So beautiful energies at play there. We also have Mercury currently retrograding. It's going to retrograde until the 1st, and then we have the shadow period as we move into the new year as well. But it is retrograde right now in the sign of Sagittarius, conjuncting Mars. So this adds something really interesting to the conversation as well. So Mercury conjunct Mars can definitely be a reminder to be aware of the power of our words. Sagittarius is known for being very outspoken, just saying whatever comes to mind without always having an awareness of the consequences of those words. So really being aware of maybe pausing for a moment. Does this need to be said? Is this helpful to say? And even being aware of our reactions, especially with family gatherings happening around Christmas time. What are the triggers that we have in our life? How are we responding? And maybe some comments don't even need to be responded to. They're not helpful to respond to, so just letting them go. Now, another way we can work with this energy, I always like to give you the higher octave expression, which is what we are expanding into while being aware of some of the shadow sides that could come up, but that we don't want to get entangled in. So Sagittarius brings a lot of joy, a lot of optimism, and a lot of fun. So I actually like this energy coming in because it does add an element of joy and playfulness as well that we can really tap into, especially where Capricorn and Cancer can be a little more serious. The Sagittarius energy is not serious at all. It's just very, very playful and fun. So I like that it's contributing to the conversation here. And I also think where Mercury is retrograde, it can help with taking that pause and looking at the power of our words, what we are responding to. This can even be a time with the moon here in Cancer that we are reflecting on the work we have done to heal aspects of the self, our inner child that responds to those triggers in unhelpful ways. And we're able to kind of see the evolution of that and disentangle from conversations, from energies that we don't want to be a part of, that are just not helpful or useful to be a part of. So let's take a look at some of the aspects here that the moon is making. So there's actually a couple here, and again, they're very supportive aspects. So we have a sextile with Jupiter at 5 degrees of Taurus. So Jupiter is the planet of good fortune, good luck. It's very expansive energy. So interacting with the moon in this way, that's where I feel a lot of that excitement, feel good emotions, happy memories that can really surface during this time. Jupiter is also preparing to go direct a couple days after the full moon as well. So I think this is a really feel-good energy where you can also come back to like reflecting on the accomplishments this year, what you have achieved. Yes, all the external stuff, but the internal work as well. And it can definitely be a time of celebrating and looking at how far you've come on your journey. So, the way our unconscious mind works is it tends to look for, well, it does look for threats in our environment. But because this programming of our unconscious needs to be updated, it'll often signal things as threats that really aren't at all. So, it tends to see what needs to be improved, what isn't working, as opposed to what is flowing really well, what gets to be noticed, amplified, and celebrated. So we have to, or we get to do the work of reprogramming our brain, updating that old unconscious programming. So we train ourselves to look and notice in our environment what is flowing really well, what is working in our life. And what we focus on, we amplify. So being very intentional about where your focus is, and this cosmic energy is going to help you focus in on what is flowing well. Like it's a very uplifting vibe here. So we also have a trine with Saturn. So Saturn is now at 2 degrees of Pisces. It is now moving direct, and it's forming this beautiful positive aspect with the moon in Cancer. So Saturn is also the ruler of Capricorn, so ruling over the sun at this time as well. So it has a lot of those same archetypal traits that Capricorn has of structure, of discipline, of maturity. There's also an element of karma here. So I think you can really see that emotional maturity on your journey, especially where it is trining the moon in Cancer here, really reflecting on how you have evolved and grown over time. There's a karmic aspect with Saturn that's coming into play too. So this could even be a deeper awareness of what those patterns and programs are that are at play in your life. And this could really relate to your relationship with work, with achievement, with success, and a good time to reflect on that. What does success mean to you? Have you taken the time to really even look at that? And I think we've all had experiences of achieving certain things in our life that we might have thought would produce a certain feeling. And when we got there, we recognized, oh, that's not the case. And there's always a new level to get to. And we may realize that it's something we never really wanted anyway. It was someone else's definition of success that was imprinted on us. So there's a liberation that happens when we free ourselves from the societal expectations or definition of success, come home to our truth, that moon in Cancer, come back to the wisdom that's held in your heart, and really look at what does success mean to you? What does that look like? And then do your actions, your habits, your thoughts, your beliefs, are they aligned with that definition? So powerful time for reflection. And Saturn is also very well aspected here as well. So again, there's a lot of support that's coming in this full moon. I would say definitely take that time to, of course, reflect on the year, take the lessons with you. Don't just look at what you want to improve and change, although of course, that's a helpful thing to do, to explore what we would like to do differently. The more that we can do that from the lens of compassion instead of judgment, the more useful that type of reflection is. Also celebrate though. Look at how far you've come on your journey, amplify that. Once again, I have my workshop available for a couple more days that will really help you in connecting to your Akashic Records, which brings you back to your blueprint for success, your soul truth. We do some powerful healing work as well, so you can release those old karmic patterns and you can connect to your highest path for the year ahead and really gain that clarity on how you define success, what that looks like and means for you. I also want to thank you for journeying with me this past year. And yeah, just thank you for your support. Thank you for being on this journey with me. And I have so much goodness planned for you as we prepare to step into 2024. All right, I am sending you all so much love. Enjoy the holiday season. Enjoy this beautiful Cancerian full moon. And I will see you very soon. Bye for now.